Lockbomb Show.
Just listen. Have you ever heard anything more awesome? It makes you want to go out and do something amazing, like rearrange your sock drawer or pay your bills on time. Ooh, I know, get a regularly scheduled oil change. Yeah, okay, so maybe I don't remember what it's like to do amazing things, but I do remember liking MegaMan 2. Picking up where MegaMan 1 left off, this sequel boasts a new lineup of levels and bosses to beat, along with the master villain Wily himself. He worked on his theory of relativity, now he's back for revenge. In this episode of the Lockbomb Show, I decided to play through the entire game on hard to see if the gameplay lives up to the hype of this fantastic intro song. Now, a lot of people would argue that Mega Man 2 is the best game in the entire series, but I'm not so sure yet. There are definitely some good things about this game, but there are also some bad hombres. I started out with Metal Man because I seem to remember his power being the best in the game. You begin the level inside a Rolex with the occasional spike traps from Castlevania. The music is awesome and they nailed the industrial feel. There are thousands of gears everywhere, and as long as you don't mind running on treadmills, this level is pretty straightforward. When you get to Metal Man, he throws a ton of, you guessed it, shirt buttons. I think they're supposed to be blades, but if you look at the middle of them, it's clear that they're buttons. Anyways, they do very little damage to you, so he's pretty easy. I love Heatman's music. It's just got this cool sounding beat that makes it seem like a furnace. I was having a great time until I heard that noise. That awful noise that means I'm about to be angry for the next hour. The disappearing blocks are back. I guess this was before getting gamer feedback, because only sadists would request for these blocks to be in the second game. Dude, if you thought Mega Man 1 was bad, this makes that seem like a joke. These developers must have really been angry at the world. The entire second half of the level is disappearing blocks, and the last sequence goes on for like 30 seconds. I can hear them in their brainstorming meeting now. Guys, we're in danger of this level being fun. Let's take those terrible blocks from the first game and make them go way farther. Yeah, and let's make the patterns more complicated. Yeah, and let's make them go over a lake of lava. It's topical. Yeah, and let's make them go over a bottomless pit after the lava. Yeah, and let's put a booby trap that they can't avoid right before the end of the bottomless pit. Maybe they'll break their game in anger and have to buy another, thus doubling our profits. Yeah! After all that, you still have to drop down and fight a Proto Man in a mech suit. I can just imagine Mega Man crawling to the boss gate, dragging his busted metal carcass behind him. Heatman is easy, but after traveling through Hades, what isn't? Dodge his charge up and use Bubble Man. Airman's level is really strange. It does take place in the sky, but there are these weird looking floating heads with drills coming out of them that I just don't get. They look more like the first Legend of Zelda dungeons to me. I guess they'd make sense if they even remotely resembled Airman, but when you get to him, he's this big blue guy with a fan for a stomach that shoots blue tornadoes. In fact, he looks more like a Poliwhirl than anything. Maybe I should just use a Great Ball on him. Bubble Man's level puts Mega Man up against a bunch of shrimp cocktails. Without a doubt, Bubble Man is the lamest boss in the whole game, which is a shame because he looks cool. You can kill him easily with Metal Man or probably just your own primary weapon. Woodman's level seems too easy at first. You walk uninhibited through the woods, only having to worry about these super slow bats and the occasional Energizer Bunny. But then you go underground and you fight these giant blue dogs that breathe fire at you. What that has to do with wood, I'll never know, but hey, at least they're being creative. The more you progress through the level, the more you feel like you're fighting against the entire San Diego Zoo. There are bats, bunnies, dogs, monkeys, birds, and these weird ostrich/rooster hybrids. If you have Metal Man or Heat Man, Woodman is easy. You just have to jump over his leaf shield and hit him. Crash Man's level and music are totally lame and forgettable. To this day, I still don't know what the heck Crash Man is supposed to be. And judging from the map, music, and character, the designers didn't either. You'll want to beat Airman first, otherwise this ambiguous guy is going to beat the brakes off of you. Speaking of weird and ambiguous bosses, Flashman? Sounds more like a personal problem to me. It's alright, Flashman. A lot of guys have the same power as you do from time to time. His music is mysterious and I buy the whole cave feel they created. His power is kinda cheap, actually. He freezes the whole screen and then shoots you. Use Metal Man to beat him. So, first Flashman and then Quickman? It sounds like the developers are trying to reach out for help. Maybe they should hit up Woodman and see what's up. I'll tell you right now, you should get Flashman's power before you try Quickman. He has these giant laser beams that kill you instantly. I have seen people beat this without Flashman's power, but I've never been able to personally. If you use Flashman, you can get through it and just run through it a lot easier. If you get to him, just use your regular weapon. After you beat the regular bosses, you get to Storm Wily's castle and hear that awesome intro music again. By the way, what kind of crappy justice system exists in MegaMan's world where they keep letting this psychopath out of prison? Not only that, but he has time to manufacture all these terrorists, robots, and a gigantic death fortress? Someone needs to fire his parole officer for real, because he ain't worth a dime. Rehabilitated my butt. Other than the music, it's pretty much like the first game's formula, where you fight a bunch of mini-bosses and then the same bosses you already beat come back somehow, even though you already blew them all away into a million pieces. Okay. Then you fight two versions of Wily in a spaceship, and that's when things take a strange turn. You think you've beaten the game, but then Wily flies off and you go back to the map screen and it reveals yet another level. When you go to this level, there is absolutely no music, which is really off-putting. You only hear the sounds of some mysterious liquid dripping from the roof above. Then you walk in this room and Wily takes off his face, revealing that he's an alien this whole time. Bum bum bum! Only one of your weapons actually does any damage to him, the bubbles. If you try anything else, even your main weapon, it won't hurt him at all. This final form is the easiest out of all of them to me, and when you beat him the lights come on and gotcha again. Wily was operating the alien puppet. He's not really from outer space. He falls down groveling like a punk, and then you just walk for a long time like Forrest Gump. I just felt like walking. Well, that's all I've got for this week. Until next time, have a good one.